What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. It is Tuesday, and we back here for another live episode of the Joel Friday TV podcast. Live on IG and on YouTube, on both. Do me a favor, hit that like button and the follow button. Smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about this show so we can get the subscribers up and a message out. Do it now. You still got time. Amazing stuff. Let's get straight to it. You guys already know it is a talk show. So IG and YouTube, you can call in at any point. And we could talk about whatever you want. The topics, argue, fight, whatever you want to do, we can get into it. You can call 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. For whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. Link is in the description, or go directly to YouTube and hit the super chat button. Send your questions or comments there. I will read them live on air. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better. So you can do that as well. Amazing stuff. What's up, King Wesley? Shout out to the IG chat. IG peeps, what's going on? Shout out. And shout out to the mod squad, the snake pit, YouTube live chat. Shout out to the folks over here. Amazing stuff. Nice. Do you have love? Is the question. Where do you guys think I'm gonna go with it? You guys think I'm gonna do the relationship thing? You guys think I'm gonna do the doesn't matter. Where do you have love? I wanted to talk about this because I always have topics that I have in mind that I want to get to, but sometimes it's not always like the right time to get to them, or it just doesn't make sense. And this one I've been kind of thinking about for a while, and it's been something I've wanted to talk about, but I just didn't see fit until today, right? And Ivana says, we don't know, Joel, just continue. Why you so bossy, Ivana? Don't boss me around. Just kidding. Yeah, so today I want to talk about it. Do you have love? And this is like a major conversation. Not in just Christianity, not in just religion, but just in the world in general, right? Do you have love? What is love? You know, do all people have it? Do people don't have it? You know, it's a conversation around love all the time. And I was just realizing, I was just thinking from all the different things that I've heard about it, you know, just drawing my own conclusion and trying to make sense of it. And I'm still learning, you know, I'm still learning. But how I see it is that when it comes to the question, do you have love, or even do you have hate? I see it as, I don't know that I have anything. I don't know if people have anything in general, period. And when I say we don't have anything, I mean in the sense of it doesn't mean that we can't, that we don't operate from love at times, or operate from hate or anger or evil or whatever, right? It doesn't mean that we don't operate from those things and those things don't come out of us. That's not what I mean. I'm not saying that we are not capable of those things. I'm just saying that I don't know if we have anything. Now I'm prefacing the word have because I think that is the tricky word, have, and the setup word. Because I think that when we think that we have anything or claim anything is when we're deceived. You ever think about that? As soon as we say, I have something, or I have love, then you start to think that you got it, and then that you don't have, you're not capable of hate, or you don't identify with being hateful or evil or angry or anything. You don't identify those things because in your mind is made up that you have love, and vice versa. Same thing with hate. Is if you claim to, that you have hate or you're angry or whatever, right? Evil. When you claim that, then you don't notice the times when you're operating from love. And I think that as human beings learn, live, and grow, sometimes we do things that are of love. Sometimes we do things that are of hate. And sometimes we do things that are of love and we're not knowing we're being of love. And oftentimes we do things that are hurtful or harmful or hateful. And we don't even know that we're of that. We didn't even know that we did it, right? We were just blind and couldn't see. And oftentimes that's because we have our mind made up on something else. You know what I mean? We have our minds made up about, oh, I'm being helpful. And identifying with being helpful when, how do you know you're being helpful? You know what I mean? How do you know that? And I just come to realize, not even that I come to realize, I just been thinking about that I don't know if we have anything. And I think what's most beneficial about that and what's great about that is that I believe our cup is supposed to stay empty, right? It's just supposed to stay empty. Not filled a little bit with this or filled a little bit with that, but just empty. That way, whatever that cup needs to be filled with can flow through, right? Because sometimes we're in the dark, we can't see. Sometimes we're in the light and we do see as we're growing. And I think with the empty cup, not claiming anything, is how children live, right? How little kids live. And they live that way because they know they don't know any different. They don't know anything. They don't know any better, right? And they're not trying to prove to themselves that they know something. They accept. They don't even accept. They just only know that they don't know. And they don't even know that. Anyway, I'm entertaining myself here. But, because of that, because kids operate that way, is how they are able to, in my opinion, just go through life. Enjoy, try things, fall down, get up, get mad, cry, get sad, get happy. And they're just flowing through all these things and not really identifying with none of them, but just kind of just living and going through life, right? And in the process of that, and they have no judgment. They're not judging these things as right or wrong. And I find that in the process of that is when you truly can understand what right or wrong is, right? Is when you're going through life, when you're going through things. And the empty cup concept, I like that concept even though it's not a concept, it's just, I guess, a metaphor. But the idea of that, I like it because it allows for you to allow the moment to give you the wisdom of the day, right? Because I can say, I have love, right? I could like do something. So I could say, like, for example, I could say today, let's just say that like I do like that I do something, I do the right thing, or I do something that is representative of love, right? Then I'm like, oh, okay, like I get it, I understand it. And then tomorrow comes and you do that same, and you have it in your mind that like, okay, well, this is love. And then you try to like remember what you did, and you're remembering what you learned about yesterday's, situation. And now you're trying to hold on to that to live it every day. But it doesn't work for every day. It doesn't work for every day. And that's why we're supposed to leave an empty cup and be empty, so that the wisdom of today can present itself, and the moment can bring the answers. And I know that might sound kind of hippie. As I'm saying it, it might sound kind of hippie. But I just believe it to be true. The moment will bring the answer, but it's hard to trust the moment because we feel like we're gonna miss it, or I'm not prepared, or I'm feeling scared, or so we hold on to the knowledge of the past. But anyway, I wanted to Bible thump again today. I've been Bible thumping as of recent. Not on purpose, but it just makes so much sense. Matthew 5:5, and then I'm gonna get to some calls. I see the callers calling in. I appreciate it. There are some lines that are still open. 888-775-3773. I will get to your calls. Appreciate it. Matthew 5:5 says, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." And what that means to me, how I interpret that, is the meek is the humble, and the humble surrender to nothing, right? The humble surrender to nothing. So that way, you can't take credit. Because when you take credit, you get cocky. I have love. I have this. I have that. You know what I mean? Then you claim it, and then you identify it, and then you think you got it. And at that very moment is when you go blind and you're deceived. All people. When living being, we all make mistakes. We all made mistakes. We've all thought we were right, and we end up being wrong. I'll speak for myself, is that I thought I was right at times, and I end up realizing I was wrong, or I realized that I didn't have the entire picture, the full picture, right? The full understanding. Just I had a part of it or whatever, right? But only because the identity of I know it, or I've got it, or I have it, or I'm this, or I'm that, instead of just being a living being. And when we truly become that, in my opinion, it seems that love can can't do nothing else but operate as our minds are renewed in understanding what life really means only by going through it. The bad, the good, the ugly, all of it. Without judging things based off of right and wrong. I don't know if that makes sense. It made sense in my mind. I don't know if it makes sense coming out of my lips. But that's how I feel about it. Oh. Sean said, dang. I do be doing that. I don't know what he's referring to, though. Because I said I don't know exactly what he's referring to. Taking lessons from the day before and applying it to it today. Yeah, exactly. And everybody does that. And I realize I do that a lot. And the reason why is because, like, everybody seems to be enjoying the fact or loving to stand on something. Because that way if you know it, you don't have to be in that limbo of like not knowing, right? Because not knowing kind of sucks. Because then you don't feel strong, you don't feel confident. It's all not real anyway, right? But you don't feel strong, you don't feel confident, you don't feel smart, you don't feel like planted. So when we learn something, we like to hold on to it so we can like stand on it. And then we'll lock it in and think that it applies every day, and then it's just a setup. But our foundation should just be trusting God, having faith, letting go. That should be the foundation, not based off of what we know or don't know. You know what I mean? And Sean said, never works out. Exactly. It never works. It's never worked out for me. But I want to hear what Jaime has to say out of Minnesota. Oh, he has something to say about, that's okay. We'll still take him. Jaime out of Minnesota. Welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Joel?
All is well, Jaime.
That's great.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. The topic you had yesterday about obedience.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to talk on that. It's a very interesting topic, and today, in this day and age, we see the feminists and how they think of obeying and obedience is. But I think either you had said something or somebody else had super chatted about obedience just being having a reverence for somebody. So like when my wife obeys me, it's because she reveres what I can do and what I do for her.
Oh, okay.
Just like when I look at God and I decide to obey God, it's for reverence for what God is.
Right.
You know? And there's nothing truly demeaning in that obedience for, say, my wife to obey me. But
there's no also, what? There's no what in it? Say it again.
There's nothing demeaning in obeying me for my wife. There's nothing demeaning about obedience, which is what the feminists have instilled in people, even in Christians of this day. And when I think about your questions, I think about them in a Christian way. Like if a person is a Christian as a religion, how would they think of it? Not as a secular person, like an atheistic person or...
And why is that? And why do you have to do that type of perspective?
Because they're not like us. Us as in like the Christians. Not in like a group kind of thinking, but
I see.
They're not moral people.
So then when I'm saying certain things, you're saying that it, like when you think of it from a secular mindset, it doesn't make sense. Like what do you mean exactly?
Right. So like today's topic of love, I think about it in what a Christian mindset. But I also know that people who hear the
Oh,
show
I see.
may not strive to think about it in a Christian way. They
And,
might think about it in a psychological way.
and how, can you give me an example of what that would look like?
Like when we talk about love, somebody might think of it as what did that website Psychology Now, how to know that he loves you or whatever.
Oh, I see. So based off
Not
of like
really
like taught, like lessons that were just have been taught, or like things that
right,
have been said.
things that don't have to do with God.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Oh, I see.
So like in a secular way, if you're talking about love, and I'll bring it to love, well, I'll bring it back to obedience. Obedience in the secular way means I'm bossing around my wife.
Yeah.
And she's like the Cinderella
Right.
before she became a princess. She's like
Yeah.
mopping my floors and stuff, and it's not like that at all. Obedience is something else. It's she's in awe of me, just like I'm in awe of God, which is the proper way. Because there's a lot of things that she can't do for herself.
And how does she
that I do
become?
for her.
And how does she become in awe, though? How does she become that?
Well, through dating.
Through dating?
Yeah, we dated for a little while, and I helped her out through
Okay.
through things, through finances, through emotional things, and being there, being an honest, good man.
Okay. So just the respect that.
Right.
Okay, and that's where, because she respects you, is the reason why she's willing to obey you.
Yeah, because she knows I'm going to do right for her.
Right.
Right by her.
Right by.
Just like
go ahead.
Just like I know that God is going to do right by me.
Right.
Because He already has.
And is it mutual? Like, meaning like you go about it the same way with her?
No.
And so what is the dynamic the other way? Like, how does she's in awe of you, and you say you're in awe of her, but what does that mean? What does that look like?
Well, I'm assuming you mean like what is my relationship to her?
Yeah. What is your version of awe?
I know this is what I'm supposed to do. This isn't my ultimate purpose, but this is the purpose that I'm here for, is to take care of her. And that's it.
So you knowing that is how you're able to respect her. But how does that make you respect her, though?
And it is. It's just like how God knows that we are here for Him to protect. And that's what He does. That's just what He does.
Okay. So, okay, I see. So there's no real, like you're saying that it's not God that's like, has a certain type of like enamor of us. He just knows His role for us.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I see. Interesting. I never really heard of it in that way, but I understand what you're saying. What you're saying.
The reason I really wanted to come back on this subject was because Maze was talking yesterday, and I just wanted to make sure to point out that the feminist ideology comes into the Christian ideas, and then it twists it. It poisons it.
Yeah.
The atheistic feminist ideas do not fit in Christian ideology. It just doesn't. But they've tried to, and they will continue, and people have fallen for that poison.
Of the feminist stuff.
Yeah. We're equals. I make as much as money as he does, and he doesn't do anything without me, or, like we're equals. We're not equals. And it doesn't work.
No, and the thing is, I think it's just like,
at least for a Christian ideology thinking people, it won't work.
No, I agree. I agree with you. And I think that what's happened, you can let me know what you think, is that judgment of certain things has gotten in the way. Like in the minds of, like, let's just say people who don't understand truly what obedience means, in the minds of them, they've already believed into the idea that obedience means control, or obedience means I'm a robot. And that's just, they just made a judgment that they've convinced their mind is made up, and they're not open to understanding what it really means. They just have this judgment. And I feel like that's the problem with, even the people who are waking up as well as, but, oftentimes we see it more in the people who really can't see, is the just having our minds made up about things and thinking that identifying with this, identifying with that, thinking we are this, we are that, and having our mind made up is the thing that kind of keeps us blind. Would you agree?
Right. And it's the atheistic ideas, the feminist ideas, they become blind to it, but they can overcome. I was the same way too. I had feminist ideas in my past too, and I overcame.
True.
So it is possible.
Let me ask you one last question, Jaime, and then I'll let you go here. Do you think that as you're waking up and you're overcoming and you can see, do you think that it's possible that you're still blind?
It could be. No.
Like, meaning like, are you able to catch every moment?
And here's the reason is overcoming vices go away. Identities start to go away. But just recently, like a week ago, I saw another identity inside me that's from my mother.
That
the months had passed. I didn't exactly realize. I didn't see it.
So were you blind? Were you blind in that until you realized that?
I was blind to it until I observed it and I saw it, and I thought, this is something weird. What is that? That can't be me.
Right.
That's not me. Oh, that's my mom. So it's not that, I guess it is that I'm still blind to certain things, but they will be shown to me.
Right. I agree with that. And do you think that there's things that in the things that you're still blind to, even though you're waking up?
Yeah. And I look forward to seeing them. I hope that I keep getting into situations where I'm forced to see it, because it's a good happiness to know that you can see something.
100%. I 100% agree, man. And I appreciate you being honest about the questions I asked. Thank you, Jaime. I appreciate it, man. And any last words before I let you go here?
No, have a good show.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate Jaime being honest about that. But, I just see it like that, too. Is that we're all blind. I know this is not what the Christians want to hear. This is not what the children of God, the alpha males, it's not what we want to hear, right? But everybody blind and can't see. And that's why we're just supposed to have faith. But we have blind spots. And I think that that's okay. I mean, but just being honest and allowing ourselves to come back to that place of realizing, like, I am nothing, I know nothing, but not in the intellectual kind of way. But just knowing that, like, there's still things that I do not know. I think somebody said this I think maybe Sean had mentioned this. There's things that I just do not know, and there's things that you're still blind to. And you don't want to walk around saying, I can see either. Even though we do see, and we're grateful that we can see, right, certain things. But that doesn't mean that we're still not in the dark. Doesn't mean that we're still not blind to certain things. Doesn't mean that we still don't know. And that we don't get deceived by the mind at times. And when we realize that and can accept it is when I think that we can really start making sense of things, because there's nothing in our way. like the alpha male thing or the, and I know we say those things on at the Bond Network. We say those things, we're having fun, right? Alpha male, beta, and stuff. We're having fun with it, but I'm talking about really trying to identify with these things, like, you know, and really identifying with the stuff as alpha male or identifying with you. Like, I don't think that that's good. Just let it be a nothing. Anyway, lines are open, 888-775-3773. Let me get to some of these comments here. Let me check and make sure it's for some supers. King Wesley says, empty cup. You watched that episode of Bernie Mac recently, didn't you? No, I don't know what you're talking about, man. He says, you're a Christian, so if anything, you have God, the man who sent his son to die for our sins. You have so much. But I also don't think, yeah, we're children of God, but I also don't think that, I think that's what the Christians do too. Like the Christians today in the church is that, like, you got God, you have God, and you're a child of God, and you're worthy, and you're loved, and you're fantastic, you're beautiful, you're worth it. But all those things are designed to make you feel good and feel strong and confident. But you shouldn't be trying to feel strong and confident. You should be. You know what I mean? Like you just are those things as they come. You are a teacher to kids, and you sincerely try to help people on your show. I think you have love. You even let me be here unbanned. That's love. I appreciate the compliment, but and I understand what you're saying, but there's also times where I judge. And there's also times where yeah, I know that I'm thinking or I'm feeling, and that's not of love. So the point is just not to identify with anything. But, I appreciate nothing. He said, I am nothing, I know nothing. That's King Wesley says, when you say I am nothing, I know nothing, that's disrespectful to God. I don't see it that way. Because think about it. If you say, I am powerful, it doesn't mean that that's not true, right? That you're not capable, like you don't have power of God within, right? But now you walk around here thinking that you got power. That just feels like a setup. Maybe I'm not explaining myself well enough. Let's see here. Yeah, thank you, man. Terry says, I'm not high. I'm not on pot. I'm high on caffeine and sugar. Oh, it all makes sense now, Terry. I'm just playing. The best way I can explain it is the empty cup thing. The empty cup thing is the only way that God's love can operate through. And it's the only way we can like really see what's going on and be led, right? If you think about the concept of having a full cup, that's knowing everything, right? And we want to know everything. We think we want to know everything, right? Because if we know everything, then there's no doubt, there's no pain, there's no conflict. We have all the answers. But guess what having a full cup doesn't allow you to do? Trust God. It takes away if you know everything, you ain't got to have no faith. If you know everything, you don't got to rely on God. And God said, what did he say? That faith is a free gift from God, given by God, of undeserved favor, I'm paraphrasing, that is given to you as a free gift that no one can boast. No one can boast about it or say that they earned it or deserved it. It was a free gift. Terry says, I'm 1/4 Italian. Don't lie about my spaghetti again. What? What? Appreciate the donation, but what? What's up, Zeni? Oh, Zeni got some stuff to say. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate the super chat. I don't know what you mean, though, but thank you.
The Bible says you're not.
Jesse said that the Bible says that you're powerful.
You're not powerful.
The Bible says that you're not powerful.
It says you're nothing, you know nothing.
You know nothing, nothing. But doesn't the Bible also say that God is within you and he is powerful and knows everything?
Christ said that, yeah.
So then there's
He
like,
said you don't know nothing. You don't even know what you want. You don't know what to pray for. You're nothing.
I agree with that. I agree with nothing. But it has to, but do you think that can you come on here?
For the fallen state.
Okay, real quick. Jesse Lee Peterson's here.
He forced me to come.
Okay, let me open up here.
I'm ready to do fallen state.
Jesse's about to do the fallen state, so he's just gonna be here real quick.
I just heard you say, well, if you say you're strong,
Yeah.
it's not true that you are strong, but you ain't strong.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that you should surrender to nothing.
Right.
Leave your cup empty so God can
you see me?
work through you. But if you I'm also saying that you don't have love, right? Nobody has love.
No, I have nothing.
But then do we have hate?
Nothing, no nothing. There ain't nothing. And they don't even know what to pray for.
Jesse ain't that black.
Where am I?
There you go.
Oh.
So
You just scoot over something?
the other way.
Keep going.
This is Jesse Lee Peterson, guys.
How about that?
More. He's almost in the wrong chair.
You want me to sit over
I
here?
think it's because that's the wrong shot. Okay, that's fine. But now we can't see you. Okay, good.
So
go
you're
ahead.
nothing.
Okay, so then if we don't have love, which I agree,
You don't have love.
but then we also don't have hate then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, not your hate, but if you identify with it, yours.
So
But
then we
you
don't,
have hate nor love.
so no love, no hate.
No.
Okay, I agree. I think that
But with
you
nothing,
can't identify with either
just
or.
because you say you're strong, that don't make you strong either.
Right.
You just said it did.
No, I was saying that it
You
did.
said, but it's true. I know,
Oh.
if you say I'm strong, you know, it is true that what you said, but it's not true.
Well, I mean in the sense of that
What the?
if we have the strength from God within is within us, but it's not of ourselves.
Right.
So that's what I mean. So we saying the same thing.
Oh, man.
But I know you have to do the
You
fallen
believe
state.
you have love?
I believe that. No, I don't believe that that
Oh.
human beings have. But we can operate from love,
How?
and we can operate from hate too.
How?
That whatever's influenced through us.
Yeah.
See?
Lord have mercy.
Okay, but that was it. I'm glad that you cleared that up because I definitely was not saying I had the strength.
Nobody has it
Yeah, I agree.
of themselves. That's why the false you got to completely disappear.
Hey, and then Hake says Joel putting out spiritual misinformation. I didn't do it.
But you growing. You're a baby in the word.
There we
So
go.
it's okay. It's
Okay.
okay to mislead thousands.
You you want to stay here to the end of the show?
No. I got to go tape the father straight.
Okay.
But no, you're right in all that.
Right on.
I
Jesse Lee
did wanna make
Peterson,
sure the
folks.
people understand
JLP here,
Somebody
making an
said-
entrance.
too. Somebody said, if you say you're nothing, then you disrespect God. That doesn't even make sense.
Oh, that was Wesley on Instagram.
Oh, that when you said that?
King Wesley.
How you disrespect? God said it himself.
Right. That's what I was telling him. I was saying that it doesn't seem right to, because then you walk around thinking that you're all holy.
Yeah.
And then you realize, then you miss the fact that you ain't.
Just as unholy as that water is that man got baptized in. What's that man's name?
Russell Brand.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I'm
I
trying to
can go
look
now?
and see if anybody has any comments here. Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in. Interrupting.
I know.
What the?
Let me check the calls. Let me see. Matthew out the gate says, "Give this to Jesse, please," which was a super chat. All right, I'll let him know. Right on. Appreciate it, Matthew.
Let me know what.
He just sent the super chat.
For me?
Yeah, but you can't have it. It ain't for him.
Say thanks.
Jesse said thanks, Matthew. Chris says it's okay to mislead thousands. LOL. Or LMAO. Wait. King Wesley says human beings don't have love, but they have hate. No, that's what we're saying, King Wesley, that human beings don't have love or hate. They don't have either. Nothing. But it can't operate through you, but you got to know that you're nothing for it to operate through you. So and nothing is not like an insult to yourself either. It's not saying that you're nobody. And I think that's what's also perceived. It's not saying, as a matter of fact, saying you're nothing is the highest form of being used by God, because you're surrendering to God's power instead of relying on your own power that you think you have, which doesn't exist. So surrendering to nothing is not an insult. It doesn't mean you're nobody. It just means you're nothing without the power of God, which is the spirit within. So that's what nothing means. Kale Samogi with the super chat says, Russia Crow. Jesse kept calling Russell Brand Russell Crowe, and we kept having to correct him. So that's what Kale is referring to. Russell Brand is a actor, or former actor, who now has a podcast, and he's getting baptized, right? He's becoming like I don't know really what I don't know if he's Christian, Catholic, I don't know. But he's in search of God, so he's getting baptized. So we were talking about him on JLP radio show yesterday. It just kept calling him Russell Crowe. We're like, man, he ain't Russell Crowe. And then just kept saying that he was a rapper. And we're like, man, he ain't a rapper. So that's what Kale's referring to. Thank you, Kale. Appreciate it. Oh, I had a clip I was going to play you guys yesterday that I didn't get to play. Read one sentence in the chat, and he has 30 chats behind. Oh, Zeni was saying something that I wanted to get to. Where's Zeni at? Zeni says, for the spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. 2 Timothy 1:7. I agree, but the spirit that God gave us, not of ourselves. So it brings it right back to nothing. Carver 531 says, Joel's Bible written by the ladies at the Skim. That's a good one. Chris with a super chat sends a chicken dancing saying fist bump. Appreciate it, Chris. Right on, sir. So, that's what that is. Anyway, I almost want to play that clip, but it feels like so random now to play it. Like it has nothing to do with the topic. So, and the show's already almost over. Oh, I'm just reading Hake's comment here and referring to Jaime and I conversation, which was a good conversation. I love the perspective that he was saying about how the wife is in awe of him and she's obedient to him because he is there for her, of love to her, according to him, right? And he, he was there for her and takes care of her. And because of that, she respects him. So out of that respect, she naturally is obedient to him. And Hake is saying, and then I asked Jaime, well, what is your awe of her? And he said that he just knows that he has an obligation to be of service to her, and that's what allows him to love her, but not necessarily based off of anything that she does or anything that's valuable to him from her, but just because he knows that's his role as he sees God's role to us. And Hake was saying he never said that he was in awe of her. He was saying that he's in awe of God. So I might have put words in Jaime's mouth. But, so I'm misleading. There I go. I misled another 1,000. Sorry. I understand that too, and I'm not saying that it's wrong. I have to think about it. Hake said Joel bearing false witness against Jaime from Minnesota, JK. Sorry, Jaime. But it's just interesting. It's an interesting thing. I just don't want that to be heard and then guys go around thinking that she's just here for me to take care of. And she don't come with nothing. Because that idea is not necessarily true. She can be of God and overcome and be of love and give that love to the children. Right? So, I don't want the idea to be the only purpose of a woman is to be taken care of by a man. Because that's not entirely true. Cal said, it's your fault we are going to H-E-double-L, Joel. Sorry, at least we'll be there together. At least we'll be with each other. Do you have to lead to be followed? No, says Falconing. Do you have to lead to be followed? No, not necessarily. No. Just because people follow you, I don't think that doesn't make you a leader. Because they can be following you blindly or whatever. She loves from his works. Interesting. Man, I'm going to end in a second right here. I'm going to read a couple more of you guys' comments, and then I'm going to end. So, American Anchor Baby is coming in, and you don't want to miss his show because he has an amazing show. So you want to make sure that you check that out at the top of the hour. Let me see. Did I get all the chats? I think that's all you got. Greenwall. Men and women are both spiritual beings, whereas husband and wife are like job descriptions. What? What? Greenwall, what you talking about? Job description. Anyway, I'm going to end. I appreciate it, guys. Joel Friday TV across the board. Make sure you guys follow JLP Network as well. Got some stuff coming. Make sure you guys subscribe. And Joel Friday TV across the board. All the folks on the network, Jesse Lee Peterson at JOP Talk, The Hake Report, The American Anchor Baby. Make sure you guys follow the whole crew and tell everybody about them. Because, we getting it. We getting the word out. We getting it out there. So make sure you tell people about the show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm back here tomorrow for some more mess. Until next time, y'all gotta go. Bye. Oh, shoot. Wait for it.